You've got questions? She's got answers. It's Ask Nurse Lisa.
Hey, Nurse Lisa here, and welcome to another edition of Ask Nurse Lisa. Today we're going to continue with some nursing vlogs because we've got some listeners and viewers that are going to be sending me some questions, so we'll have those at a later date for the show. There's some really good questions, some interesting questions, so tune in for those. This particular vlog goes again way back to the first year I ever started taking care of patients. And it goes back to the first person that I ever witnessed pass away. Now I bring this up because I consider it a blessing, the way it happened for her and the way it happened for me, to have my first experience be like that. She was a very elderly woman, and when I came on shift at 3 in the afternoon, I took her vital signs and made sure she was doing okay, but she wasn't really talking, she wasn't really seeming to be awake, and she wasn't moving around a lot in the bed. I took her vital signs were okay. And I came back a little bit later to tidy up in the room, get water in the pitcher, whatever, and looked at her. She was doing okay. She was still breathing. She was still there with us. Turned around, did a couple of things in the room, turned around again to check on her, and she was gone. Now, this woman was not considered someone who you would be calling a code to administer CPR, medications, and advanced cardiac life support. That was not what the family had planned for this elderly woman. A lesson that was taught to me from that moment on, how death is a part of life just as much as birth or anything else. It's literally a part of whatever this existence is that we call life. And I've always wanted to thank that woman for that gift that she gave to me. It almost helped me be a little bit less afraid of dying. It also brought home the reality of it. And of course, all the flood of thoughts that go with that subject. But because it was not a emotionally difficult thing that happened, it just was so quiet and so peaceful while I was in the room there. It was able to help me face the other things that I had to face with patients that were more dramatic, stressful, that sort of thing. And it also gave me the courage to believe that I could do that, because I didn't know how I would feel or how I would react to being with someone when they passed away. So I considered that a great blessing, and I considered a blessing for her that she went so peacefully. And one thing that they taught me in college, in my nursing program, is that one of people's biggest fears is that they will not die in a peaceful manner. But statistically, people do die in a peaceful and quiet, non-painful, non-violent way. And they've done studies where that's really a lot of what people are scared of when they talk about this issue, that they're going to go through some violent, traumatic experience. This also brings up the subject that has been going around with my group of friends here on YouTube, the subject of euthanasia. And I would love to take this time on my program to give my 2 cents as a medical professional on the subject of euthanasia. First of all, as doctors, I believe that they are instructed to do no harm, and I believe that they take an oath to do no harm to the patient. And I believe as nurses we're responsible for that as well. And the other thing that causes me not to want euthanasia to be legalized and on the books as a legal avenue of care is because doctors are not always right. My cousin, who had a extremely massive stroke, basically destroyed half of his brain, one side of his brain. He is walking, he is talking, he is feeding himself, he is living his life. It's not easy, but he is like a walking miracle, an absolute walking miracle. I've had doctors tell a woman that her baby was going to be born with a genetic abnormality, only to be to find that the baby was born perfect, no genetic abnormality. So, because I've been there and seen that firsthand, I cannot, on this show or in my professional life, endorse euthanasia. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. This is an open discussion, and I'd love to hear your side of the story on that controversial issue, which there's been so many other issues going on in the world today that issue's kind of taken a back burner to some other issues, but it is still a very important issue facing us as human beings today. If you have a question for me, send it to AskNurseLisa at AskNurseLisa@yahoo.com and send it in a video format. Be creative and have fun. Hope you like the vlogs. We're going to be doing lots of other stuff too. Going to keep it fresh on this show. But you will always be able to answer your questions, and you will always be able to come and hear stories. We're going to do some first aid shows and things like that too. So until next week, be happy, be healthy.